For a better life. It is for a better life that a child in Africa is breaking stones right now. A child in India is clearing tabletops at a tea stall. A child in Bangladesh is working in a mill. All of these children at the end of the day will go back to their homes, pay their families so that their families can sustain themselves. So that at the end of the day they can have a roof over their head and their families can also pay their school fees. According to a report by UNICEF, 152 million children globally are subject to child labor. If you don't get these terms easily, allow me to explain. One child out of every 10 children in this world is a child labor. Now, poverty is the reason behind child labor, and child labor is nothing but an irrefutable approach of the grief-stricken poor to break free from the shackles of poverty. Having said that, maybe child labor is better than living in abject poverty. But here's the catch. As a fire cannot be extinguished by fire itself, we require water for it. Such is the scenario over here. Both poverty and child labor are evils, one born out of the other. In this case, poor children are being deprived of their childhood. At an age when their hands should have held books and toys, they are holding tools, doing harsh labor, getting their hands torn and dirty. At an age when they should be reciting poems like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or counting from 1 to 10, they are silently crying in the dark. And even getting subject to greater evils of the society like getting addicted to tobacco, smoking, liquor, and in the worst case scenario, drugs. Having said that, under no circumstances child labor better than living in abject poverty if poor children are getting prone to drugs. But ladies and gentlemen, we must come to a common ground over here, so let's come to the conclusion. We simply cannot deprive poor children of child labor. According to American economist Paul Krugman, children who are deprived of child labor and live in poor habitat turn to even dangerous forms of work like child prostitution, agriculture where injury rate is higher, or even trafficking. And if not these, then simply starving to death. You must understand that children don't work because their parents are mean or stupid. They work because they are desperately poor. Therefore, if we want child labor to end, we must do something about poverty itself. This year's theme for World Day Against Child Labor was Act Now, End Child Labor. Therefore, we must act now and ensure that every child, no matter how poor he is, gets educated, because Nobel laureate Kailash Satyarthi quoted, and I would like to end by his saying that I am positive that I will see the end of child labor in my lifetime in this world, because the poorest of the poor have realized that education is the key to getting them empowered. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.